I do have it on and everything. Oh, I got a runny nose. Y'all, I got up at 7. I got up at 4:45. I'm so excited today. So today we are going to the RV show in Houston. The RV show. It's very exciting. And I'm very excited about it. And there's a time in my life I would not have been excited about going to an RV show because I thought, ugh, RV people. Now I am RV people. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. I'm super excited because we're going to the RV show because the plan, not what I wanted to do. The plan, the 5-year plan is that we have an RV and travel around the world. It'll be exciting. Anywho, that's the plan. I'm excited about it. And today we're going to the RV show where I can go live my best little RV possible life that I can live at the RV show. And I'm very excited about it. So I got up this morning at 4:45. And you will notice that I am still I haven't changed. Morning, Tiffany. I haven't changed my clothes yet. Still in my same, I got my robe on because it's cold. I didn't take a shower. I got to take a shower. And on Wednesdays, I have an earlier appointment. Most days I got an 8 o'clock appointment. On Wednesdays, I have a 7:30 appointment. And it's a further drive. So I got to get here, shower, because I got my lashes done on Wednesday, and you can't shower for 48 hours after your lashes done. It's Wednesday. It's time. It's time. It's okay, though. It's okay, though. What was I doing, you say? Nothing. I was on the World Wide Interweb looking at things that I find to be fascinating. That's what I was doing. I wasn't prepping. I still have 6 minutes. I wasn't prepping. I didn't pull up today's scripture. I didn't add it to my stream. I didn't share my video. No. Looking at things I thought were neat. Neat old burrito. Anyway, good morning. I'm very excited going to the RV show today. And honestly, I shouldn't even say it. I wouldn't even care about, truly, I wouldn't even care about taking a shower, but I think other people care. I just don't. I'm just okay. Like, if I don't take a shower, I'm all right. Let me get some typing done here, Lucas. Ooh. Man. Today, can I tag people today? Maybe we'll have an untagging day. So I have done a lot of training for myself. I've done a lot of like coach training and just different courses, counseling courses and stuff like that. How to receive the information, how to help out other people, blah blah blah. Normal shit. And there's a girl that I did a training with a year ago, and like her story is absolutely phenomenal. Her story is amazing, right? So like 3 years ago, she was homeless. She's got pictures of herself and her 3 kids living in a shelter somewhere where it's cold. I don't know why. I just feel like if it's cold, it's worse to be homeless. It's just me. Anyway, and then like contrasting that with now, this was years ago. I guess that was it 2 years ago? It doesn't matter. Anyway, super poor, homeless, living in a homeless shelter. And we jumped into this training where we met each other. And she had previously worked with that particular coach that I'd hired. And we were in the same group together. And when you go to business coachings, you usually have a mixed group of people. And you have some that are novice and some that have been doing things. And then you usually have like the one person who's like kind of made it in the rock star. And that was our person in our group. Anyway, super, super awesome person. Got nothing bad to say about her. And all she did with her 3 kids, from homelessness to making $500,000 in like, I think it was like under 2 years. All she did was 24/7 hustle, like all she did, 24/7 hustle. She went on Facebook Live like 2 or 3 times a day, and she just like held her phone. And like I watched her lives, and this is after she had half a mil, just from working with people. And it was like this, and she was just like, she didn't have it on a stand with a light ring, just her and her little phone, sometimes shaking around and stuff like that. And she she wore like not the best wigs, like if I bought wigs, I have a wig. These are kind of wigs I would buy. And I just remember thinking, wow, like you have your head on straight because you're not buying like super fancy, expensive things. You're still like conserving your money. You're not about the flash. I was just very impressed with that because to go from like homeless to have a mill, that's a big difference. A lot of people would, take themselves and turn into all flashy and everything. So anyway, she's hustling, hustling, hustling. And I see her now and she's not coaching anymore. She's like moving into something else and she just works now with like smaller groups of people. And she's still just constantly self-promoting. And she's become incredibly wealthy doing this in like the span of 5 years, homeless, making millions. And I look at that and I think to myself, oh, it's too much work. I couldn't imagine that hustle all the time like that. Like that hustle. Thank you, Michelle. I couldn't imagine that hustle. It's just not me. And she's a good person. She's a Christian person. She's not like a pushy sales guy, asshole person. She's very sweet and very genuine. But like just the hustle, the non-stop hustle. And I'm impressed with her hustle, but I'm not inspired by it. We're not talking about that today. Today we're talking about namers and name callers. But today in my ramblings of, I've been up since 5:45. I didn't do anything. I like went down the whole, oh my God, what's Liv doing? Who's this new man in her life? Did she get her a man? No. And that's what I did. Nothing important, but nothing bad. It wasn't like I went down the rabbit hole of some bullshit happening in the world. It was good stuff. But anyway, that's what I did this morning. Now it's time to spend some time with Tiny Baby Jesus. Tiny Baby Jesus. That's fun. I do have to I got to get it done today. So because I need to get it done today, I can already promise you it's going to be like a 3-hour devotional. It's going to be that time where I'm running over here and then I'm just writing for days. Why? Because I got shit to do. And God's going to be like, no, bitch, what you need to do is spend some time with me. I'm like, okay, God, sorry. But we are reading Revelations. Now, I have read the whole Bible twice. As I've told you guys, maybe 3 times, I think twice. And honestly, I don't remember. I know Revelations is the end of the world. And there's imagery. But I'm not into imagery. I kind of just want to read a how-to manual. I'm good with a how-to manual. So I really don't know a whole lot about this is I got nothing to say about this, and I can't sum this up. Sometimes I try to sum up what we're reading because then there's a cute little line where my name is right now, but today's not going to be that day. Good morning. Oh, here it is. I thought I did. I don't have a rock star today, so I'm not a rock star. I'm still in my pajamas. My name is Decker, and we are going to do a daily devotional. I'm very excited. Yesterday, in my hurry up to get off, I didn't pray for us, so that's awkward. And I'm going to try to remember to do that today. Okay, so we're going to do a daily devotional. You don't need anything except for me. I'm already here. You do need something to write in. Okay, I have a little journal that I write in. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be something from the dollar store. It could be a clearance spiral notebook. It could be a napkin. Eminem wrote a multi-million-dollar song on a napkin. So it ain't going to be much. And then we're going to use this devotional. If you don't have this devotional, it's okay. There's no reason to go away yet. I'm going to do like this. Read. Talk. So you don't need to have it. But if you do have it, we're going to be on day 10. Boom. Name calling. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names would never hurt me is a lie. And I bet they say that. So where if they do? So that's what you need. And then you need a pen, right? I have a box of glitter pens. You don't have to have glitter pens. You can have regular pens. I bought these Bible journaling pens because I got this new journal Bible. I'm going to show it to you too. I really need to clean off my desk. I glittered it. And then my what book of the Bible tabs came in. And these are really fun because they're not all the same shape and neat and organized. I love them for that reason. Put them in last night. And you could write, you don't even need a Bible. Because I'm going to read that to you too. So all you need is a pen and something to write on. Let's get started. Today, guys, we are on day 10 of this book, journal, daily devotional, Who I Am in Christ. And it's really, we've just been focusing on how we see ourselves, how the world sees us versus how God sees us. And if we could focus more on how God sees us and less on how shit for all people see us, we'd probably be better off. That's just my opinion. So we are going to be reading today Revelation, and I added an S to it, so whatever. Chapter 12, and we're going to focus on verse 10. Now, I did pull it up already, and it's not that long. Chapter 12 is only 17 verses. So I'm going to read all of it, but this is the part we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on here. Here's what it says in the NIV, which is probably the Bible you have at your house. I heard a loud voice in heaven say, "Now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters who accuses them before our God day and night has been hurled down." I am very, very grateful this morning that I have the option of the translation called the Message, because I'm not 100% sure of what I just read. Let's see what the Message has to say. So, I'm already liking this. So remember, sometimes it's like there's the book, and then there's the chapter, and then there's a verse, and like there might be like a chapter title or like a little paragraph title. This one has a chapter title. It's called The Woman and the Dragon. Sign me up. Give me some eggs. Let me walk through some fire. I'm here for it. Okay. A great sign appeared. We're reading all of it. A great sign appeared in heaven. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. I told you. Beautiful imagery. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven. An enormous red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, and 7 crowns on its heads. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth, so that it might devour her child the moment he was born. Okay. She gave birth to a son, a male child, who will rule all the nations with an iron scepter. And her child was snatched up to God and to his throne. The woman fled into the wilderness to place prepared to the wilderness a The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. Very specific. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Now we're at the part we just read. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven say, "Now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brothers and sisters, who accuses them before our God day and night, has been hurled down. They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They did not love their lives so much as to shrink from death. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you will dwell in them. But woe to the earth and the sea, because the devil has gone down to you. He is filled with fury because he knows that his time is short. I don't know that made it easier. Let's finish this bad boy up. When the dragon saw that he had been hurled to earth, he pursued the woman who had given birth to a male child. The woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she may fly to the place prepared for her in the wilderness, where she would be taken care of for a time, times, and half a time, without the serpent's reach. Then from his mouth the serpent spewed water like a river to overtake the woman and swept her away with a torrent. But the earth helped the woman by opening its mouth and swallowing the river that the dragon had spewed out of its mouth. Then the dragon, enraged at the woman, went off to wage war against the rest of her offspring, those who keep God's commands and hold fast their testimony about Jesus. It's times like these when I feel like the opposite of smart. I'm just going straight into the devotional. I can't decide if it's the imagery. Here's what I think it says. Mary has a baby. He's the Messiah. The devil tries to kill her. She's like, boom. The devil's like, I guess I can't kill her. I'm going to just try to destroy all of the offspring, which are the people that hold fast to their testimony about Jesus. Tiffany, I love you, but I can't imagine writing about dragons now. I'm going straight to the devotional. I'm hoping that this is something we might be a short day today. Okay, here we go. While recounting his astonishing peek into the heaven, the Apostle John refers to the devil as the accuser. It's when we fail that the enemy's accusations become most vicious. Like a skilled ventriloquist, Satan sometimes hurls his hateful lies through people and situations. It comes from Matthew 16, verse 21-23. Maybe you've heard some of his damning condemnations through someone else's voice. Why is that so important? Because when we take Satan's name calling to heart, we think of ourselves as losers, screw up, and worse. In effect, we let him name us. This is a terrible way to live. In fact, it's no life at all. Truth. Not truth. No, that's truth. A healthy identity requires listening to the voice of the Redeemer, not the accuser. Maybe we could have just read Matthew. I'll send him a note. He's a published author. I'm sure he cares what I have to say. So for reflection, if it's the accuser, the devil, who calls us losers, screw-ups, and worse, why do we so often cling to these names? Ooh. What names does God call his people? Ooh. Okay, I don't know about what I just read in Revelation. There's a lot happening in there. There's a lot. That's just a lot. Like, was she having Jesus? Because the offspring, by offspring then, are we not talking about like literal offspring? Because like Jesus, as far as we know, I don't want to have that controversial discussion, but like Jesus don't have any babies. I have seen the Da Vinci Code. I know that there's a possibility, but so like it's not literal offspring. I got to sit down. I got winded. My head hurts thinking about all that. That's my TV. I don't work. Well, it works. I just don't use it. Why? It's smaller than my freaking screens on my computer. So if I want to watch TV, I just watch it on my computer. Yeah. Hashtag spoiled. Hold on a second. So if it's the offspring of Jesus, but Jesus doesn't actually have a trash can. Jesus doesn't actually have any babies. So then is it really like the offspring? Jenny got it. Jenny got the message today. Is it really the offspring are just believers? That's what I'm going to say it is. I'm not a theologian. I'm just thinking. If I just read the devotion, I could tell you just the devotion part, maybe not the revelation part. The devotion part, I could do an 8-year series on Netflix about name callers. I could do a whole docu-series. They could do a show and they could follow me around. I could write a 400-page devotional, 400 days of fart knockers who call you names and how to tell them, fuck you. I mean, whew. Let's have some real talk. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to piss off some people who know me in real life and going to be like, I can't believe you would say that about your parents. Bitch, I'm about to. If it's the accuser, the devil, I add that part, who calls us losers, screw-ups, and worse, why do we often cling to these names? Because it didn't come from a dragon with 7 heads and crowns, breathing fire and or water from its mouth. It came from a parent who said, you're lazy, you're fat, you're never going to be anything. That's stupid. Why would you do that? You know, if you tried, you could do something better. That's why. Because from the time you're little and all you hear is that you're fat, lazy, stupid, that's what you believe. That's why. I got to tell you, my kids went to one group of school for a brief period of time, and then we moved and they went to another school. And the second school district that they went into, shit you not, elementary, middle school, high school. I happen to have one in each school. They started off the day with the announcements. Pledge allegiance. Pledge the flag to Texas. I live in Texas. You pledge the flag to Texas. Why? Because anybody from Texas knows that Texas is its own country. I digress. Then they said their school motto. And at the end of this little motto that they all had to say, it said, you are the pride of Texas. Could you imagine if every day from kindergarten to 12th grade, and pretend you I'm classy, bougie. Mm, mm. Hey, at least we heard the school motto. It's always me. It's always me. Thank God I saw the comments today. Because, cool. So we got the school motto. So if you heard every day that this is your school motto, that you are the pride of Texas, if you heard that every single day, you would be like, oh my God, I am. Right? But if all you heard every single day is that you're fat, lazy, and stupid, you would just believe I'm fat, lazy, and stupid. That's what you believe. Because that's what you're being told. So anyway, my girlfriend Jana, so I was talking about when I got muted. I'm sweating now. I got on all kind of layers. I'm sweating. I took my hat off. Y'all want to see that? Ooh, that's nice. Now y'all know I got to take a shower today. Okay, so my girlfriend Jana, so she would drop her kids off in the line and I would be behind her and we'd be talking on the phone because back then you could talk on the phone while you're dropping your kids off at school. Judge me, you know you did it too. Okay, so she would on the phone and she would be like, I love you, make good choices, may the Lord bless you. And she'd give them a kiss. And I thought, well, that's a really good parenting skill. I didn't have a whole lot. And so she did. And so I didn't know what to tell my kids. So I told my kids, I love you, be good, right? Really what I told them was, I love you. Don't do drugs. No sex in bathrooms. That's what I told my children. They were in middle school. I thought this was appropriate. My girlfriend Janice, she would laugh at me. She's like, I can't believe you tell your children that. And I was like, I don't want them to do drugs or have sex in bathrooms. She's like, tell them to be good people. But except she would never say that because she's actually a really, really good person who would never tell you about yourself. Anyway, later on in life, my daughter is in school. She comes home and she's like, oh my God, Mom, guess what happened? And I was like, oh my God, Harley, what happened? And she was like, so-and-so got caught having sex in the bathroom. They're in middle school, by the way. Holy shit. But the part for her that stuck out in my, what I tell you every day before you leave to go to school is don't do drugs and don't have sex in bathrooms. It stuck with her. Because the worst part of the whole thing of the middle school student having sex was that she did it in the bathroom. And it was that moment that I realized maybe I should have given them better advice. Too late, now they're grown. So anyway, and as far as I know, they're not drug addicts and they're not knocking boots in bathrooms. So winning. But I could write a whole book on this, right? Because when all you hear from your family is that you're a screw up and that you're lazy and that you're fat and that you're stupid, if that's everything that you always hear, then you start to believe that. So I think what started happening in my parental generation, not necessarily me. My kids can tell you all the shit I did. I was a fucked up parent. It's okay. I still love them. They still love me. We're working through it. Thank you. We started like going the opposite direction. So the 50-year-olds that have kids now, instead of telling them how terrible they were, we told them how fucking glorious they were at everything. And y'all, sometimes they're not. Sometimes that art project, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. That's amazing. Tell me about it. Y'all remember that sage advice? And then they tell you about it. And guess what? Like, I don't even understand what we're talking about. They just described a dragon coming down from heaven with 7 heads and crowns on each head. And I'm like, oh, maybe we need to go see a shrink. Right. So like, it's just this hodgepodge of things. And then you got participation trophies. Oh, you did so good. They didn't do good. They kicked a goal into the other field, into the other team's thing. They were picking flowers instead of catching the ball. That's not good. That's not good. And so we have to have like this balance of conversation. What happened now, we have those kids that have come up and they don't understand why they go to get a job and they can't make $300,000 a year and have a fancy title. But you ain't got no experience. Yeah, but I have 14,000 followers. Yeah, but well, I have 4. So back off. Back off. So it's not necessarily great to just lie. That was back here. We did lying earlier, I think. But name calling. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. It's a lie. It's a lie. Until you know who you are. And what does it say? What names does God call his people? Loved. I know that's one of them. I got stickers here that probably say stuff about that. Forgiven. These are things that you read in the Bible. I bet these are the words that the little Lindsay girl does. I shared a little YouTube video link yesterday. Anyway, this is, I told you today was going to be a day where I could go on fire. So when we were going to our other church, I sang in the worship team or whatever. And if you've heard me sing, then you know how I sing. I sing loud. That's how I sing. I sing loud. I sing very passionately. I don't sing pretty. Now, I have had singers try to get me to sing pretty and whatever. I was very passionate when I sang. Now, the band that I was a part of, were not good. We're not good. So saying like, oh, I just feel like God, we were not Celine. None of us could be Celine's backup singers. We could all been Adele's because she canceled her thing because she gets stage fright. Oh, I'm so like, I just called her names. The sin is strong in me. Anyway, so I sang, and people would tell me all the time, y'all, I'm not trying to be a certain way, but I'm about to be a certain way. People tell me all the time, oh my God, I love when you sing. Oh, I love when you sing that song. You sing so good. And I would express not to those people. I learned how to just say thank you and move on. But to other people that would want to tell me, oh, you sang really well. And I'd be like, yeah, I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And Brian is fantastic because Brian is super honest. Brian doesn't sugarcoat it. He's like, yeah, what's happening there today? I was like, I don't know. He was like, you were listening to your voice today. I said, yeah, no. Like, I love that about him. Super honest, not hateful, just really honest. But anyway, people would say, oh, you sing so pretty. And I was like, finally, I had to tell a couple of people, please don't take this the wrong way, but I don't give a fuck what you think about my singing. It doesn't matter to me what you think about my singing. Because if you think that I sing really well, does that mean that if I don't sing really well the next time, like, you're going to not want to go find Jesus? Like, I'm singing for Jesus. I'm not singing for Decker. So, like, if you like it, does it make you want to dive into the word more? Does it make you want to go be a good Christian? Or was it just like nice to listen to? And I had people, when I was dissatisfied with how I was singing, I was like, that was really rough today. I could feel it here in my voice, like critically analysis. And people be, oh no, but you just sing so pretty. And I would be like, I don't care what you think. I need you to understand. If I get wrapped up in what you think of me, I'm fucked. Because you could have a really bad day and stumble upon me and say, what the fuck is going on? You got up at 5:45 this morning, 4:45 this morning, and you couldn't even put clothes on or brush your hair? No, bitch, I could. I did brush my teeth. No, bitch, I couldn't. Well, we can't smell your breath. You could have skipped that and done your hair. I don't care what you think. And it's such a weird thing. And I'd say thank you. And when I receive compliments, everybody loves compliments. Everybody loves them. And so, like, when I take the time to do something, like I take the time to get my hair fixed, or like I do my lashes, like I love people like, oh, I love your lashes. Thank you. I spend time doing them. Makes me happy, right? But do I really care? Not really. I just kind of, I do stuff for me, and I try to do stuff for Jesus. I did my eyelashes for Jesus. I just haven't figured out how to make that a true statement yet. So it's a weird thing. I like compliments. Don't get me wrong. If you know me in real life and you see me and you compliment me, please know it's appreciative. Like, I like that. And I know that people like compliments. And so when you see somebody, you can give an honest compliment. There is always something to compliment somebody about. Always. Always. Now, if you and I become really good friends, I might tell you, what is this shit you're wearing? Because that's who I am. But there's always an opportunity, always, to compliment somebody and compliment them. People like to be complimented. I like to be complimented. But like, at the end of the day, when I'm spiraling, that's what I'm thinking to myself. Oh, I look so stupid today. Like, which I don't have green hair right now, so that's a weird thing, but I look so stupid. Like, I'm almost 50 years old and like I'm still dyeing my hair green. Like, why am I doing this? I bet people just can't take me seriously, right? I start beating myself up. I start calling myself names. And the names that I call myself are the same names that I heard all the time from people. You're so stupid. You're fat. You're lazy. Why do you do this? This is not how successful people dress. This is not how successful people look. And I think I'm not the only one. I think we're all guilty of this. We listen to the name callers and we listen to that so easily because that's everywhere around us. And I'm not trying to go down the path of like it's societal and everything, but it is. You're bombarded with it. If we lived in one of the African countries I was talking about on Monday night, if you were there, if we lived in the Congo, they live on less than $5 a day. One of the top 10 reasons that they die is from two. Well, they have two top 10 reasons they die in the Congo are genetic heart issues. Number one reason we die here, heart disease, because we eat like shit. And I'm worried about, because of the where I live, I'm worried about all the things people might say about me. Whereas I lived in another country that didn't have quite the abundance that this country has, and we all have abundance. I hate to tell you that. I wouldn't be worried about those things. Those things wouldn't matter. I would care less if I had green hair. I probably wouldn't even know I could dye my hair green, to be honest. I'm living on $5 a day. My hair dye cost me $5. Like, I probably wouldn't be buying my hair dye. So why? It's just a great question. Why is it easy? For me, it's easy because I grew up hearing that. I chose, here's a hard part you probably don't want to hear. I chose to stay in relationships as a young adult and an adult and an older adult, and a grown adult. I chose to stay in relationships where that shit was still being fed at me. I chose that. I chose to stay in relationships where people still said I was stupid or that I was lazy. I chose to stay in relationships where people insulted me and made things my fault that were not my fault. Well, I just did this because that's what I thought you would like it. Well, I don't like it. Thank you for trying. I don't, it's not, it's not my fault. You should have asked me before you spent all that money on something. Anyway, I'm not trying to go down that path, but I chose to stay in relationships where people were just ugly to me. And I think there's a difference between being ugly and having like friends that you can pick on and talk shit with. Because I have friends I can pick on and friends that pick on me and we talk shit about each other. And it's very different. Everybody's personality is very different. My husband and his friend group, I have to be very careful when I joke around because they don't joke around with each other. His friends they don't pick on each other. And so when one of them does kind of pick on another one, so many feelings. And I'm like, oh, I can't. So I really kind of just sit there sometimes like thinking, because the words matter so much. Because you know why? All of these people were raised by people who told them they were amazing and that they were the pride of wherever they were and that they could do things. And when they messed up the things they were doing, instead of just saying, well, you're so stupid, why the fuck would you do it that way? They were like, okay, I see what you're trying to do. Let's figure out how to fix it. Let's work together to solve the problem. I had such a great conversation yesterday with a friend of mine. And she was talking about, okay, I'm going to talk shit about you, but I'm not going to say your name. I'll call you Gertrude. She was talking about her son who turned in an assignment and didn't get a good grade and was devastated, right? And I was like, yeah, that happens. So she was like, this is what I told him. Here's everything you thought you were doing. Here's why you thought this. She like laid out a plan. And she's like, you go to your teacher and say, hey, this is where I thought, this is the question, this is why I thought it was this way, yada, yada, like laid it all out. Instead of just saying, well, I guess you need to try harder next time, which is the advice I would have gotten. Or, well, that teacher's stupid and they don't like you. Neither one of those solve the problem, by the way. If you do bad as a child and you have a parent that says, well, you're lazy and obviously you didn't do the work and that's the grade you got, that does not help you. And if you have a parent who says, well, the teacher obviously doesn't like you, fuck that teacher. That doesn't help you at all. Because in your life, you're going to meet people that just don't like you. And you have to have a feeling of like, well, I don't care what you think about me, but if I have to work with you or if you're my supervisor, I need to know how to communicate with you. You don't have to like me. I need to learn how to communicate with you. And then there's also just going to be situations where you just thought you did the right thing, but this was nothing that was asked of you. You need to be able to communicate that as well. So as my friend is telling me this story, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm such a bad parent. And it's like, I got one last try. I still got one at home. And my husband was very much raised like that. When like things didn't work out, his family would try to like correct him. Now, if you know my husband, you know that's an uphill battle. But that's a different story. Okay, I'm already at 6. I told y'all, not on Revelations, not on this woman and the dragon. I don't know why I felt like I could read the whole thing. It's only, how many lines was there? Like 16 lines or something? 17 lines. That's all it was. That took 45 minutes to read. That was a lot. My head hurts. But I could do a doctorate thesis on name calling. Maybe that'll be my first devotional that I write. It'll be fuck the name callers. I don't know if you can have that in the word devotional. I feel like the Christian people will come at you. Oh my God. Maybe they would buy a bunch of them and they would put a big pile of them in the ground and they would run over them like NWA, like their CDs. Do y'all remember that? An NWA? Nice People with Attitudes. They had their album that came out. It was a CD, and I think that's the album. I think that's the album. Maybe it's not. That made the parental labels come into effect. Anyway, like some city bought every one of the CDs that there were, and they like ran them over, and then they interviewed. So then later on, the NWA people were interviewed, and they were like, "Well, they bought them," and I was like, "They did," because I had my NWA CD. ACD? Yeah, NWACD. Oh, okay. I was in ACDC. I gotta go. You guys have been fantastic. We're gonna journal today. Here's how I do the journal. So you get your journal out, boom. I threw a Bible sticker on there. I got one. I threw it on there. It goes with my unicorn. Goes with me. I got my Bible. I got other Bible stickers. I think I got 2 more messages yesterday. So I have all these little Bible stickers. If you want one in the DMs, okay, so you hover on my little face. It's me and Brian, and it's going to drop a little thing, and you send a message, and you send me your address, I will mail you a Bible sticker. Do not put your address in the comments. If you put your address in the comments, then your address is like for the world to see. And we already know there's people hiding under cars trying to jump out and rape us. Don't be putting your fucking... If you were here Monday, that's funny. If you were not here Monday night, you're like, I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, here's what I do. So I got to open it up, and I got to find a blank page. Boom. Okay. And then two people have my actual phone number, by the way, that are here today. I'm blaming you for me not having sound. Here's what I said. Write the date. Write the verse. And then the questions. The questions: why is it easy to believe the name callers? What names do tiny baby Jesus call his people? And if you don't know, because you're not really in the Bible world, so you don't really know what names Jesus calls his people. Pray tell, what would you say Jesus could call you? Because he's not going to call you a loser, and he's not going to call you a fart knocker. He's not going to call you fat, stupid, and dumb. So what would he call you? So that's what we're going to journal about today. I'm going to try to figure out what's going on with all of my batteries, because that 6 I went through this morning. And we'll do it again tomorrow without technical difficulties. You guys have a fantastic day. Let me pray us out of here. God, thank you for the salvation and the promise that the accuser has been hurled down. May your voice resound in my heart above the voice of all others. Amen. Have a great day, guys. I'll see ya tomorrow. Bye, guys. Can't believe my battery. How embarrassing. Golly. Well,